Hey, I'm back. I've got another big one for us. It's the one that I mentioned before in the last video. Super, super long one that I had to make really small to fit in. So let's take a look. Alright, so as you can see, it's pretty massive. This one reeks of AI as well. Some of the words in here very interesting. But I mean, this person, they've played 39 hours, so they obviously didn't drop it like the last guy. Alright, so they say Palworld is the future of video games. That is to say, Palworld is a lazy amalgam of several established and successful, but trite and uninteresting video games. It is, purposefully, one of the least original works ever created, which lends credit to the theories around much of the game being AI generated. Almost every PAL is using assets lifted directly from Pokemon. There are genuinely too many examples of these foul creatures being Frankensteined out of pokey pieces to even get into it. Legally distinct is being thrown around a lot in regards to Palworld, and that may not even be true. Dun, dun, dun. Another line being tossed off everywhere is Pokemon with guns. It's reductive because that implies that every other inch of the game isn't also straight up stolen. It's just Ark. Everything that isn't just Ark is just Conan Exiles. Throw in a spritz of Genshin Impact, a dash of Rust, and you have what is likely the most creatively bereft and potentially morally bereft video game ever made. Palworld is comical in the degree to which it appears to be a fake video game somebody made in order to lampoon and ridicule the state of the industry as a whole. If I didn't know better, I would argue that perhaps Palworld is an Andy Kaufman-esque ruse. You know what that means. Both an example of Both an example of, as well as, a damning indictment. Do I suck at English? How do you get through this? Both an example of, as well as a damning indictment of the active uncreativity that makes the big boy money in modern video games. Created to light the fire of change under the collective, unwashed arse of gamers everywhere. Some of this is hard to read. Do real people talk like this? I'm not very good at English, I guess. It sucks because it's the only language I know. But here I stand, invested now, in this monument to perfunctory facsimile. No fire lit under an arse unclean. Another drone in a legion of unthinking, slobbering rubes. Mouth agape under a trickle of 100 times recycled piss, as a fistful of CEOs grow distended in both wallet and gut. Businessmen made kings, trading in a business made booming, off the broken bones of artists and writers and designers and coders, but born of a desire to create, a need to express and communicate, to both teach and learn. Art! Our world is the death of art. The decades of arguments about whether or not video games are in fact art has concluded. If they ever were, they are no longer. And it is this Electabuzz looking ass that makes the culmination of it all. Oh, it's not over yet, friends. Our world stands towering over the burning bodies of work that came before it, not unlike Mr. Rogers in a blood-stained sweater. As a 90s kid, the poetic irony of video games crossing the Rubicon being pioneered by a yellow electric rodent is not lost on me. But the familiarity does little to alleviate the grim feeling of disappointment as the game continues to do gangbusters. The dismal feeling of acceptance as the game continues to occupy space in my mind. The undignified feeling of indignity. It's got me choked up. The undignified feeling of indignity as I spend hours and hours more to give my elephant what looks like a teacup. The best life I can. I'm in another dimension, man. I'm lost with it. I'm enjoying my time with it. I just think that I shouldn't be. And the fact that I am is not indicative of the quality of the game, but rather how low the bar is for a game to be considered a worthwhile experience. Depressing implications for the medium aside, it's fine, I guess. does the things all those other games have done and have been doing for years well enough. At least it doesn't have a battle pass and microtransactions. Oh, someone trained this AI to not mention microtransactions. Good one. The last one didn't do that. The important thing, however, are the implications for video games as a whole, for art and creativity, for generative AI, for intellectual property rights, for originality, and how much we're willing to lie to ourselves about it. As I write this, Palworld stands at just under 1 million concurrent players on Steam alone. Video games had a good run. This is a review from like a couple of weeks ago. This is way outdated now. I think they were near enough to 2 million at one point, maybe even 2.4, 2.5. I feel like was a number that I saw at some point, concurrent players. But yeah, these are getting wild. I just find it crazy. I find it so crazy. There's so many things in here that are just straight up wrong and disproven. Maybe it's the age of it. This was posted 24th of January, so I'm a little late to the party on this one. But I mean, I just don't get it, because they compare it to all these other games, but the other games are just other survival games. Of course, there's going to be similarities between two things that are the same. I don't run around saying that soccer is the same as football because it both has a ball. That would be crazy. Or tennis and badminton. That's the same. You got to use a racket for those. It's too much. I don't get it. You can't copyright these things. They're general concepts. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. What if vodka was like, no, I'm going to copyright strike all of the rum out there because we're both alcoholic. We're the only alcoholic ones around here. This is not allowed. That's not something that you can do. I'm sure of it. I'm sure you can't just do that. And I don't think it's the developers that are saying any of these things. This is all player base driven words that they're using. I don't think the developers are trying to advertise it as like, it's Ark, but with cute pets. Like, they're not doing that. Well, I guess dinosaurs are kind of cute as well. Ark did have dinosaurs. But this is funny. I might have a look at some other games. I'm sure Helldivers 2 has got some good reviews. I haven't played it yet, but I bet I don't need to play it to recognize some damn good reviews on that game. So I might suss that one out next. But I already had this saved on my computer from a while ago, so I couldn't just leave without doing it. Because, yeah, the actual process of like making this, it doesn't take a long time. It's just that I have to do one bit and then go to work and then like do a different bit. So it takes a little while to get the videos out, which is how this is like 20 days overdue. But yeah, I just squeeze them in when I can. So yeah, if you like negative reviews, or hey, maybe I'll even do positive reviews, I don't know. But if you find it funny to just have these ridiculous reviews delivered to you, then yeah, make sure you subscribe, because I'm gonna just keep doing this. This is funny and it's fun to make. And sometimes it just like fries my brain, because I try and read sentences. Like, where was that sentence before that got me? Yeah, it was this one. This one here. This is the one that screwed me up. It's hard to read this stuff. I don't use these words frequently at all. Like, I don't use words like damning indictment or say things like active on creativity. It's hard for me to get through it. It's hard for me to imagine an actual person reading this or doing this, talking like this. There's no way this is real, or I'm just an idiot. Who knows? That could be the case as well. We've got two options here. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But if you like it, don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, I will see you next time. All right, bye-bye everyone.